Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm really glad you're here with me for part two of our journey and that you decided to continue this conversation together. In today's episode, we are going to talk about a question that lives in the minds of many people. A question that comes back again and again, especially during moments of change. A question that many people think about quietly, but not everyone feels confident answering out loud. Should I be an employee? Should I work for a company, follow a schedule, and receive a fixed salary every month? Or should I work for myself? Should I take responsibility for my own path, my own income, and my own future? Should I choose a stable job that feels safe and predictable? A job where I know what tomorrow looks like? Or should I choose freedom? Freedom that comes with risk. Freedom that comes with uncertainty. Freedom that exists in the free market, where nothing is guaranteed, but everything feels possible. This is not just a career question. It is a life question. And today, we are going to explore it slowly, honestly, and without judgment. This question becomes even heavier for people who have migrated, because when you move to a new country, work no longer becomes about earning money or paying the bills. Work becomes about survival, about standing on your own feet in a place that still feels unfamiliar. It becomes about identity, about how you see yourself and how others see you in this new society. It becomes about confidence, about proving to yourself that you are capable, that you can manage, and that you belong. And most importantly, it becomes about belonging, about finding your place in a new world and feeling that you matter here. Today, we are not here to judge anyone's choices. We are not here to say that one path is right and the other one is wrong. We are not here to give advice or tell you what you should do. We are here to understand, to slow down and reflect, to listen to different experiences, including our own. For many migrants, the first priority is very simple. You need a job, and you need it as soon as possible. You need income to survive. You need money to pay rent, buy food, and take care of daily life. You need stability, something solid to hold on to. You need something predictable in a life that already feels full of uncertainty. When almost everything around you is new, unclear, and unfamiliar, predictability feels comforting. This is why many people begin their journey as employees, not because it was always their dream, not because it is exactly what they wanted, but because it feels safe, because it feels reliable, and because, at that moment, safety matters more than anything else. A fixed schedule. You know when your day starts and you know when it ends. A fixed salary. You know how much money will come at the end of the month, and that certainty helps you breathe a little easier. Clear rules. You understand what is expected of you and what is not. Clear expectations. You know your role, your responsibilities, and your limits. When everything else in your life feels new, unfamiliar, and confusing, this kind of structure can feel deeply comforting. It gives you a sense of order, a sense of control, and a small feeling of safety in the middle of change. But at the same time, something else slowly starts to happen inside you. You may feel grateful for the opportunity, grateful for the job, grateful for the stability, but at the same time, you may begin to feel limited, like there is more inside you that is not being used. You may feel secure. You know what tomorrow looks like. You know what is expected from you, but you may also feel stuck, like you are standing still while time keeps moving. And little by little, a quiet question appears in your mind, a question you may not say out loud at first. is this all? Is this the life I imagined? Or is there something more waiting for me? Being an employee has many advantages, and it is important to be honest about them. You know when your workday starts, you know when it ends. There is a clear beginning and a clear finish to most days. You also know how much money you will earn at the end of the month. There are no big surprises, no constant guessing. This kind of stability can reduce a lot of stress. It helps you feel more in control of your life. It allows you to plan ahead, to pay your rent on time, to cover your basic needs, and to support yourself or your family with a little more peace of mind. For many people, choosing this path is not a weakness at all. It is strength. It takes strength to show up every day. It takes responsibility to stay committed, and it takes maturity to choose stability when life already feels uncertain. But there is another side to this experience. As an employee, you often work on someone else's dream. You help build goals that are not fully your own. You follow someone else's rules. You adjust your time, your energy, and sometimes your ideas to fit into a system. You trade your time for money. Hours of your life are exchanged for a salary. Sometimes you feel proud of what you do. You see the results of your effort. And sometimes you feel invisible, like your work matters, but you as a person are easily replaced. You may grow professionally over time, you gain experience, you learn new skills, you become better at what you do. But at the same time, you may feel that your full potential is not being used, like there is more inside you that never gets a chance to come out. And deep inside, often in quiet moments, a question begins to form. You start wondering about other possibilities. You wonder what would happen if you chose a different path, if you took a risk, if you listened to that small voice inside you that keeps asking for more. At some point, many people begin to look toward the free market, not suddenly, but slowly, as an idea that keeps returning. Self-employment, freelancing, starting a business, creating something that is truly your own. The idea itself feels attractive. It feels exciting. Freedom. Freedom over how you use your time. Freedom to choose when you work and when you rest. Control over your income. The possibility that your effort directly affects what you earn. And maybe most importantly, the feeling of building something that belongs to you. Something that carries your name, your ideas, and your vision. Especially for migrants, this idea can feel incredibly powerful because in a new country where so many things are out of your control, building your own path feels like taking your life back into your hands. It feels like choosing independence, like proving to yourself that you can stand on your own, even in an unfamiliar place. But freedom always comes with a price. There is uncertainty. You don't always know what next month will look like. There is risk. Things can work out, or they can fail. There is unstable income. Some months are good, some months are quiet. And there is full responsibility. Everything depends on you. In the free market, if you don't work, you don't earn. There is no paid leave, no guaranteed paycheck. If you fail, there is often no safety net waiting to catch you. And facing this reality can be scary. Very scary. Choosing the free market means choosing responsibility. Not just a little responsibility, but full responsibility for your work and your life. There is no boss to blame when things go wrong, no fixed paycheck to rely on at the end of the month, and no clear, ready-made path to follow. You make decisions every single day. Small decisions, big decisions, and every decision has consequences. Some you see immediately, some you only understand later. This constant responsibility creates pressure, and that pressure can feel heavy, especially when you are doing everything on your own. Some days you feel powerful and independent. You feel in control. You feel proud of choosing your own path. Other days you feel anxious and tired. Your mind is full of questions, your energy feels low. You begin to question yourself. You question your choices, you question your abilities, and whether you are really good enough. But at the same time, you learn fast, much faster than you ever did before. You learn how to manage fear instead of running away from it. You learn how to solve problems on your own, and you learn how to stand up again after failure. And slowly, almost without noticing it at first, confidence begins to grow. Not loud confidence, quiet confidence, the kind that comes from experience. Work is not only about money or paying the bills. It is deeply connected to identity and the way you see yourself. When people ask, "What do you do?" they are often asking something deeper. They are really asking, "Who are you? How do you define yourself in this world?" As an employee, your role is usually clear. You have a title, a position, a simple answer that fits easily into a sentence. But as a self-employed person, especially in the beginning, your identity can feel unstable. You may still be figuring things out. Your work may change. Your direction may not be fully clear yet. You may struggle to explain what you do. You may feel misunderstood, or even feel like others don't take your work seriously. But over time, something begins to change. You stop defining yourself only by a job title. You begin to define yourself differently, by your skills, by what you are learning, by your values, by how you grow and adapt. And this shift can be powerful because you start to see yourself not as a role, but as a person who is constantly becoming something more. The truth is simple, but it is not easy to accept. There is no single right path that works for everyone, no one answer that fits every life and every situation. Some people are truly happy as employees. They find balance in routine. They find peace in stability. And they find satisfaction in knowing what their days will look like. Some people need freedom to feel alive. They need space to build, to create, and to explore their own ideas and limits. And some people move between both worlds. They start as employees, they test the free market slowly, they learn, adjust, and change direction. They may change paths more than once, and that does not mean they failed. That is okay, because life is not a straight line. It has turns, pauses, and new beginnings. And this is especially true after migration, when everything is already changing. The most important skill is not choosing the best option. It's not about finding the perfect answer that works for everyone. The most important skill is learning how to listen to yourself, to your needs, to your energy, to the stage of life you are in right now. What do you need at this moment? Stability or freedom? Security or growth? Structure or flexibility? There is no wrong answer here, only honest answers. And your answer may change over time. What you need today may not be what you need next year. That does not mean you failed. It means you're learning. It means you are adapting. It means you are growing. Being an employee or working in the free market is really not about right or wrong. It's not about success or failure either. It's about timing, about where you are in your life right now. It's about personality, about how you handle pressure, uncertainty, and responsibility. It's about your needs, what you need to feel safe, what you need to feel alive. And it's about your values, what matters most to you when you make decisions. Migration teaches you one very important lesson. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to try something and realize it's not right for you. You are allowed to start again, and you are allowed to choose a new path when the old one no longer fits. Whatever you choose, choose with awareness. Know why you are choosing it. Choose with honesty. Be honest with yourself about your fears and your hopes. And choose with patience, because growth takes time. Your journey is your own, and it does not need to look like anyone else's. Sometimes, when we are confused about our path, it helps to know that we are not the first ones to feel this way. Many well-known people have stood at the same crossroads, choosing between safety and risk, between stability and freedom. Steve Jobs once said that the only way to do great work is to love what you do. But what many people forget is that it took him years of uncertainty, failure, and doubt to get there. Albert Einstein believed that trying something new often feels uncomfortable at first. He reminded us that growth rarely happens inside comfort. Even Oprah Winfrey has spoken openly about uncertainty. She has said that many of her biggest decisions felt scary at the moment, but clear only when she looked back later. What these stories show us is something simple. Confidence does not come before the choice. It comes after experience. None of these people had a perfect plan. They tried, they failed, they adjusted, and that is the part we don't talk about enough. Their success did not come from always choosing the right option. It came from listening to themselves, learning from mistakes, and staying patient with their journey. And in that way, their stories are not so different for us. So, when we look at everything we talked about today, one thing becomes clear. Choosing between being an employee or working in the free market is not a simple decision, and it is not a decision you make only once. It is shaped by where you are in your life, by what you have been through, and by what you need right now. For many people, being an employee offers stability, structure, and peace of mind. For others, the free market offers freedom, creativity, and a sense of control. Neither path is perfect, and neither path is wrong. Migration makes this choice even more meaningful because after migration, work is not just about income, it is about rebuilding life, about confidence, about identity, and about belonging. What matters most is not choosing the option that looks best to others. It is choosing the option that makes sense for you. And remembering this is important. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to try, fail, and try again. You are allowed to grow into a different version of yourself. Life is not linear, and your journey does not need to be either. Wherever you are right now, trust that you are learning. Trust that you are moving forward, even if the steps feel small. Your path is your own, and that is enough. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope you found something to think about, something that speaks to your own journey. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next one. Follow us on your favorite platform and share this conversation with someone who might need it. Your support helps us continue creating these stories and reflections. Next time, we will explore another part of life after migration, challenges, discoveries, and small victories that shape who we become. Until then, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and remember, your path is your own, and it is enough.